Yo guys, what's going on? Acez here today with another video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the best way to elite level your troubleshooting skill here in Escape from Tarkov. Do me a favor, make sure you're dropping a like on this one here today, and of course, make sure you subscribe to the channel for more PvE content. So there's an event going on right now, the arms race event, where scavs have these terrible durability weapons. If you're watching this within probably 48 hours of this video being released and you're in luck, these weapons are still going to be super cheap and you're going to be able to level up the troubleshooting skill very, very effectively, efficiently, and honestly for a pretty decent price. If you're watching this farther into the future and the arms race event is over, it actually ends on the 22nd of July, 2024. If you can still find some of these weapons in the flea market, that would be amazing, but the prices on some of these really low durability weapons are going to skyrocket. So let's go ahead and check out what one of these weapons look like. If you don't know, you can see the durability on this scar right here is 10.9 of 92. When the durability is this low, you are going to get multiple weapon malfunctions in one single magazine. And the great thing about leveling up the troubleshooting skill is you get those diminishing returns after the first malfunction. And the maximum amount of malfunctions that you should be doing every single raid to maximize your skill gain is going to be around 3. You could do more if you want, but you're going to get significantly less skill points. But if you do around 3, then you should end up with between 3 and 4 skill points per raid. And if you're going off of the basis you're getting about 3 per raid to get elite level on troubleshooting, it should take you around 1,500 raids. Now, that's a ton of raids, but the thing is, to get these 3 jams or these 3 malfunctions, it's super easy and quick with these low durability weapons. So first, let's talk about what the troubleshooting skill does, and then what it does at the elite level, and then we'll talk about how to acquire some of these weapons when it comes to the really low durabilities, or how you could do it yourself without one of these low durability weapons for people watching in the future. So the troubleshooting skill increases the troubleshooting speed. That is all it does. So it's going to be 0.5% every single time you level up. So at level 50, it will be 25%. Now, this might seem kind of meh, but it's worth getting this skill to elite for the single reason that the first elite level skill is that your malfunction type does not require weapon examination. So if your weapon jams, you can clear it immediately. You don't have to look at your weapon and figure out what's wrong with it. That in crucial situations, in crucial gunfights, will save your life, assuming you overheat your rifle, for example. It will save your life. Now, it's a very big investment, but on PvE, where we don't have any wipes, it's worth it in the long run, even if it only saves your life 5 to 10 times over the course of a couple months. I still think it's worth it. So that's not all the elite level does. It does a little bit more. It actually reduces malfunction chance by 50% of having the same malfunction. So let's say the magazine doesn't feed around properly. If that happens and you clear the malfunction, there's a 50% reduction that could happen again and getting the same malfunction. Now, you could still have other malfunctions that happen, but once those ones happens, then those will also be on a 50% reduction. So if you go through all of the malfunctions that are possible, then it's going to be 50% less likely across the board that you get another malfunction. Now, if your weapon is having that many problems, you should probably invest in a new one, but with elite level troubleshooting, you won't have as many issues over the course of time. So as for grabbing one of these super low durability weapons, if you're watching this while the arms race event is still live, you can spawn with these on your scav. You can just go into factory and farm scavs until you get one, or you can buy one off of the flea market. And the best way to find them on the flea market is go to the weapons tab, come up to your settings wheel, go to the condition and change this to 30, and then select OK, and you can see all of the low durability weapons right here. Now, weapons do not normally spawn with that low of durability, so once this event is over, all of these weapons will disappear. So if I had a recommendation to you, I would stock up on a few of them, and when you take them in raid, insure them. In PvE, you're pretty much guaranteed to get your insurance back, at least most of the time. So if you have 3 or 4 of these in your stash and all of them are insured, if something would happen in a raid, you're always going to have a low durability weapon on hand to farm your troubleshooting skill with. You're not going to knock this out in one day. It's going to take a very long time, but if you're committed to the cause and committed to making your PMC literally a Giga Chad, then you're going to need one of these low durability weapons to make your life easy. If you do not have one, there are ways that you can induce weapon malfunctions. And a great weapon for this is going to be the Glock 18. The reason the G18 is actually so good is because of its fire rate. You buy a couple 50-round magazines and you just burn through all the ammunition, you are going to have an overheating problem. So you get the most skill points on your first malfunction. The next two are a little bit less, but it's still worth doing. After 3 malfunctions, it's just not worth doing. It's not worth your time. So if you wanted to bring in a few 50-rounders and just some really cheap 9mm ammunition, you could induce some of these malfunctions very, very easily with the G18 and other weapons that have a super high fire rate, such as the Vector. You know, you do, let's say, 3 or 4 magazines with a 9mm Vector and the 50-rounders. They use the same exact magazines as the Glocks. You are going to get weapon malfunctions. So there are ways to induce it. However, right now with these super low durability weapons, it just makes life really easy. So I'm going to show you genuinely how easy it is to level up this skill. We're going to hop in a raid. We're going to go into factory and make sure you have a factory key on you. And like I said, make sure you ensure that weapon just in case anything might happen to you. And we're going to go in, we're going to do 3 malfunctions, and we are going to leave the raid. That will be the best way to maximize your skill gain per raid. Now, if you wanted to just do this at the beginning of a raid and throw the weapon on the ground, you want to stock up like 10 to 20 of these really low durability weapons, you could do that too. It's pretty much the same exact concept as drinking an energy drink and getting your immunity skill up right at the beginning of a raid, something like that. But we're going to go ahead and get a malfunction. Little 2 birds with 1 stone there. So there's our first malfunction. There's our second. And there's our third. So that is literally how simple it is to maximize the skill gain. And I'll show you that here. It should be 3 something. Yep, 3.45. And you can see that leveling speed is decreased significantly. So we're at 3.45. If we do another malfunction, you're going to see that we might gain like 0.4. You can see it went up like 0.5. So not much at all. It's not worth doing after a certain point. And, you know, what was this? A 1-minute raid to get about 4 skill points if you wanted to go with the 4th malfunction? If you're going to farm this, it's super easy. It's super simple. Just have one of those low dare weapons. It makes those malfunctions super frequent. Do me a favor, make sure you drop it a like on this one here today, and of course, make sure you subscribe to the channel for more PvE content. I'll see you in the next one. I'm out.